Hi friends, my name is Harita. Today we are going to discuss about the COBOL module, which is one of the module in mainframe technology. So what is COBOL? COBOL is a common business-oriented language, and it came from the Codacil. So Codacil is nothing but Conference on Data System Languages. In the last session, we discussed about the COBOL, what is the COBOL, and where we can use and all these things. So this COBOL language we use to implement the mainframe applications, which is mostly batch applications and online applications we can implement by using this COBOL module only. So what is COBOL and how the structure of the COBOL module? In case once we are writing the program in COBOL language, so how the structure can be and how what rules we need to follow. All these kind of stuff we can discuss now. Okay, this COBOL language is a structured programming language, means which has some structure. Like first we need to implement this one, and next later we need to implement this one. Means some structure it will follow. So what we need to do first, and next what we need to do. Something like that we need to implement in the structure format. So here the structure looks like here first we have the program. Within the program we have the divisions, under divisions, sections, paragraphs, sentence and statements following by the characters. How the collection of characters we can call as a statements, and collection of statements we can call as a sentence, and sentence all sentence can form as a paragraph, and different paragraphs we can see under the sections. So multiple sections we can see in each divisions, and in the program mainly we have a few divisions. We can discuss about the divisions and all these kind. Okay, so let's see a sample program. So here if you see here example, this is one division, and here the character is nothing but single letters we can call as this character, and example multiple characters form as a one statement. Okay, so and the purpose of this one is some function. So basically one purpose we are implementing these sentence statements, and we can call as a one sentence, and these sentences we can build under the paragraph, and the multiple paragraphs having under the sessions. So like that in divisions we have multiple sections, and these like that means we have the structure like within the program we have divisions, and in divisions we can write the sections. Under the sections only we can see the paragraphs, and following by statements, sentences and characters. Okay, so let's see how the programs and what are the divisions in the COBOL program and all. So basically in COBOL language we have the four divisions. Okay, so by using these four divisions only we can implement the mainframe applications, means mainframe programs. Whatever we are writing by using the COBOL, only we can see under these four divisions only we can write our logic. Okay, so the first one is the identification division, data, environment division, data division and procedure division. Okay, so here totally we have the four divisions. In each statement we can end with colon, means each statement ended how we can identify, means by using the end with period, means in each line we can put the period, which is nothing but that line ends till that point. Okay, so like that we have four divisions, and each divisions we can discuss in details. The first one is the identification division. Okay, basically let's say example, I am working in so and so company, means example, I am working in X company, and how I can recognize I am working in X company, means we have some ID card. So there what we have the details, what is the employee ID and what is the employee name, and following by the date of birth and few details, means date of birth and data joining, these kind of some information we can see. By using that only we can identify, okay, this person is working in X company. Similarly here in the COBOL program also, how we can identify what is the program and what is the program name and who wrote this program, all these kind of information we can write under the identification division. Okay, so the name itself saying that identification. So this division we are writing for identification of this COBOL program. Okay, so it gives the information about the program name, author name and following by the date of return, date of compile, all these kind of information we can write under the identification division. Okay. So let's see the syntax of the identification division. So this is the first, the COBOL program will start with identification division, and following by under that we have the program ID and space, one space we need to provide, and following by the program name. And next, author is nothing but who wrote this program, and date of compile and date of return, something like that we can use. Okay. So here identification division, we are saying that under that we have the details of what is the program name. So by using this program name only, we can identify, okay, this program is so and so program, and we are using this program for some purpose, something like that um, we can identify by using this program name. And author example, here the Mahesh Reddy example, some person maybe the Mahesh Reddy implemented this program, like that we can understand when we looked at the program. And date of compile, here we can write the date of compile as example, date, month, and following by the year. So like that we can write date of return, date of compile, all these we can write like date, month, and year. Like this we can mention. Okay. These details means date of return, date of compile, and program ID, author, all these details we can have under the identification division. But is it mandatory to provide all these details? No, only the program ID is mandatory. Means first we need to write the identification division compulsory. Under that we need to give the program ID following by the program name. The other details are optional. That is our wish. We need. It's if we can write, that's fine. Otherwise, also it will look good. Okay. So next one is the data division, environment division. Second one is the environment division. Okay, what is environment division? Environment means some environment we are providing, means mission dependent division, which is mission dependent, means where we need to execute the program, in which environment we need to execute and compile the program. These kind of information we can provide under the environment division. And also it is used to define the input output files to be used in programs, in case we are using the files concept. So those details also we need to provide under the program. Okay. So whatever we are using in our program, that also we need to implement, that also we need to declare under the environment division. And also it will describe the device used to compile, means compile and execute, we are doing the compilation and execution of the program. So that we can describe by using the environment division. Okay. The code looks like in the COBOL program, like we need to write the environment division, following by we have the different two sections under this environment division. One is the configuration section, and other one is the input output section. So the configuration section is used to describe the device used to compile and execute the program, means what is the source computer and what is the objective computer which we are using for compilation and execution of the program. And this is optional, in case we are providing, it's fine. Otherwise it's okay, we need to run the program, it will work. And next is the input output section, the files concept related, in case we are writing the files related concepts in the COBOL program. So there, those files information we need to provide under the input output section, means file control, following by the what file, what is the physical file, and what is the logical file. These kind of information we need to provide under the input output section. Okay. So here the configuration section, we have the source computer and the object computer. And input output section, it's related to the files related data, file control, and following by the select a file assigned to so and so. This is the physical file and this is the logical file. So like that, this file we are assigning to this one, something, these kind of information we can provide under the environment division. Okay. So next, third division is the data division. What is the data division? Data, it's the data division itself saying something like that. So the data part we can implement under this data division. Okay, whatever the data we are using in our application programs, COBOL program, so that data we need to define and declare in data division. Okay, so it is used to declare the variables in different sections based on the operation. Means example, I'm using the files concept, otherwise I'm using the sub programs. I mean, I'm calling one program to another program. Otherwise, example, I need to pass the data from one program to another program. So based on our requirement, we can declare the variables within the different sections. We have different sections in data divisions. So based on our requirements, we can declare our variables in different sections. So let's see example, we have the file section, working storage section, linkage section, local storage section. So like we have different sections in data division. So what the file section can do and what is the working storage section, what variables we can define under the working storage section, what variables we need to define in linkage section and local storage section, something we'll discuss. Okay, so here the first one is the file section. Okay, so the file section means data. Finally in the data division, what we are doing, data we are defining, variable information we are declaring in data division in different sections. So the files concept, whatever the data we are using, whatever the variables we are using for file related concept, so those information, those variables information we can define and we can declare under the file section. Okay, so define record structure of file means whatever the record structure we have a particular file, so that data, that information we need to declare under the file section. The syntax looks like the file section and following by FD. FD is nothing but file description. So whatever the file information we are providing under the file name, this is the file name and following by the file description. Means which description, this file one description. So what is the description means, we have one record, that name is 01 name pick x of 10 so and so. Like the files information means within these files whatever the data variables we are using, that information, that record information we can define in the file description. Okay, so the next one is the working storage section. Working means here within the program temporary we are using some variables, and means once the execution of the program started, then at the end of the program execution is completed, then only till this point we need to store some data. Means we need to use some temporary variables to do some operations. So for that like that, is there any requirement, so that the variables we can declare under the working storage section. So basically this working storage section is used to declare the temporary variables. Means whatever the variables we are using within the program to do some operations, those data information, those variables information we can define under the working storage section. Okay, so the syntax of the working storage section is looks like a working storage section and following by the variables name, variables declaration we can do. The variable declaration I can tell later, but just these are the two variables we define under the working storage section, which is nothing but these two variables I am using within the program for temporary purpose. Means only within this program I am using these variables to do some operation. So like that we have the working storage section. Next is the local storage section. So what we can do in local storage? So the working storage and local storage almost both are same, but the what is the difference means, here the variable will be allocated and initialized every time a program starts execution. Means example, I am executing this program, then automatically whatever the variables we define in local storage section, so those will be initialized and allocate the data whatever we are providing in this section. So that will be provide every time whenever the program execution starts. Example, my program is calling my program is executing only one time, so then that time it will initialized. In case this program is using in another program, so whenever this program is calling, so that time this variables is initialized. But working storage session, no, entire the execution of the program it will store and it will give the same value. Okay, but this will be initialized every time. So that is the different, but both are used for temporary variables only. So next is linkation. Okay, so in real time mostly we can work on the file section, linkation, and working storage session. The local storage session rarely we can use in our application programs. Okay, so the link, it is linking some the data is linking between the two systems, means example one program to another program, or JCL to COBOL program, something like that. Means it is used to declare variables in the sub programs. Example, I need to pass the data from one program to another program, means main program to sub program. So that time we can declare the variables in link under the linkation in sub program, so that we can pass the data to this variable from main program to sub program, and it will store in this linkation. Means it example, I can give the best example. The local storage or working storage session related variables are temporary variables, means local variables within the program only this value will be valid. But linkation, whatever the variables we are defining under the linkations, so those will be work like global variables. Means this data will be this data is stored until the end of the transaction, till the end of the execution. Okay, so that point it will store the value. Means example, I am going from one program to another program, so this program I have the value as a, and example, and the B program, I mean sub program also, the value of this variable is a only. Means the data is constant for these two programs. Okay, so in case any modification happened in any program, then that will reflect in both programs. So it works like global variables. Okay, so basically in the main COBOL program we have different divisions, means 4 divisions we have. In each division different sections we have. So till now we discussed about the 3 divisions: data division. Okay, so next last one, the declaration part we can see, so that we can look at the last division later. Okay, so one that I told you the variables we can declare in different ways, like temporary or global variables, something like that. So how we need to define the variables? What is the syntax of the variable declaration? Okay, so what is the 01, and what is the LSID, and what is the pick, and what is the 9 of 04? What does mean, and how we need to define one variable? Okay, so the variable declaration we can declare here the syntax. Okay, the COBOL variables we can declare using this format. One second. Yeah, so this is the declaration of the variable. First we need to declare the level number. Okay, so this is the syntax of the variable declaration. First we need to declare the level number, and next what is the data name. So means variable name we need to give, and next picture class pick, we used to give the pick of picture class of what is the data type and what is the length of the variable. Okay, so next is the value. In case we are assigning some value, so then we can use the value class. Okay, so the basically the variable we can define by using the, first we need to give the level number and following by the variable name. So this is the variable name, and next we need to give the picture class. Means what is the data type. So based on this one we can say whether this is a numeric or alphabetic or alphanumeric, and following by this within the braces we are providing the length of the data variable. Okay, what is the length we need to store in this variable. Okay, so we can discuss about the level numbers and the name of the variable, picture class, data type, and length and value class one by one. So this is the syntax for variable declaration. Okay, so first level number. So what is the level number, and what are the valid values of the level number, and each level number we can use any level number for any variable. Like this we can discuss now. So the level numbers, and these are used to organize data names or variables into memory. Means we need to define the variables in memory. So for that purpose, we can use first starting level as 0 1, so that it will understand, okay, this is the variable and we are defining in memory. Something like that, it will understand the COBOL programs. Okay, so the first we have the level numbers 0 1 to 49, 66 and 77, 88. So we have totally 52 level numbers. 0 1 to 49 continuously we have 49 level numbers, and next we have the special level numbers. Those are the 66, 77 and 88. Okay, so these are the level numbers, and we can use each level for different purposes. Okay, so first one is the 0 1. 0 1 level number we can use for elementary or group data items, means group variables or elementary single individual data item, so that we can use the 0 1 level number. It is used to declare the elementary data item or group of data items. Okay, so means example, single variable or number of variables can be under one group. So like that, for that group name we can define by using the 0 1 level number. Next, 02 to 49. These can be used for subgroup level numbers. Means 49 is used to declare the varchar field in DB2. Okay, so mostly we can use 01 is for individual or elementary items or groups, and next one, whatever 02 to 49 we have level numbers, those we can give under the 01 only. So first highest is the 01, like however we are treating as our ranks, like first rank, second rank, third rank. So here also 01 is the first level number. Under this only we can define the other level numbers except these special level numbers. Okay, so next, within the 01 only we need to define, we need to declare the level number 02 to 49, means subgroups. Means first this can be defined, under that only we need to define the next data item, that is we are calling as a subgroup. So next, 66 and 77 we can use. For 66 is for renames, and 76 7 for elementary data item, means single individual. It won't depends on any other variables, or it is not coming under the any variable or group, so that we can define the variables in a 77 level number. And next one is the 88 level number. So this level number we can use for condition names, in case we need to implement the conditions to the variables, so that we can use the level number as 88. Okay, these level numbers we can discuss later in deep with examples. Okay, just I'm saying we have the level numbers 01 to 49, and some special level numbers 66, 77, 88. So next is the name of the variable. Okay, first we gave the some level number based on our requirement, and next we need to give the name of the variable, means a variable name we need to give. We need to give the variable name. For that we have some rules. Okay, what is the how we can define one variable name and all variable names. To define variable names we need to follow few rules. So first rule for creating give the variable name is 1 to 30. Means we have the 1 to 30 alphabetic or alphanumeric, and does not start with a numeric value. So the variable name length we can give 1 to 30 characters, and the first letter can start with alphabetic or alphanumeric, and it should not start with numeric value. Okay, so numeric value means a 0, something like that. Numeric value we can't start, just alphanumeric or alphabetic we can start. Okay, so the next rule is not allow special characters or special symbols. Example, we have the at the rate or ampersand, something like that. We have different special symbols. So those special symbols or special characters we can't start the first we can't start variable name with special characters or special symbols. So the next rule is only it is allowed between the two characters. Means the special characters we can the only hyphen is allowed between the two characters. Means example, I provide here a PD. So P, in between the P and D I provide the hyphen symbol. So within the variable name only one special character, means hyphen is only allowed. The two in between two characters only. We can't start in the starting, or we can't start at the end. Only it should present in between the two characters of the variable name. So next rule is no COBOL reserved words. Means every language has few reserved words. Similarly, the COBOL language also having few reserved words like add, subtract, multiply, division, move, subrun, go back, perform, evaluate, accept, something like that. We have few reserved words, which is nothing but predefined verbs we have in COBOL. So those can't define as a variable name in the data division. Okay, so we need to give the variable name by using these four rules, so that we can define and we can that variable can be valid. So next one is the picture class. So what is the picture class and what is the data type and how many data types we have in COBOL language. So this concept we can see now. The picture class, it is used to assign the data type and length of the data name or variable. Means picture class is used to assign the, means one variable. Till now what we did, we discussed about the level number and data variable name. So first we are giving the level number and following with the variable name. Okay, but that variable, what is the variable data type and what is the length we can store in this variable. So those can be assigned by using this picture class. Okay, and how many data types we have in COBOL is we have three types of data types: numeric data type, alphabetic data type, alphanumeric data type. Okay, in the COBOL programs we have three data types, three types of data we can define. So one is the numeric, means entire ones and zeros only, 1 to 9 digits we can form the data type, and that maximum length is 18 only. Okay, so here in case we are writing the numeric data type, so then we can start with 9 of 9 means numeric, so the 9 indicates numeric here. Okay, so next of we can give some length, so that is the length, means how many character how many digits bytes it will occupy, that we can identify here. Okay, so this is the numeric data type, and how we can give the numeric data type means 9 of 1 or 2 or 5 or whatever it may be, that is your way. In case we are not giving the number by using the braces here, so otherwise alternately we can define, like example, I need to store up to 2 digits, 99 I can give, otherwise up to 5 digits I need to store the data in the variable. So 99999, 5 nines we can give. Otherwise we can write simply 9 of 5, which is nothing but it will store up to 5 digits of data in the variable. And what is the maximum length we can give in the numeric means 18. So after 18 is nothing but millions of values we can store in the variable. So this is the maximum size of the data type for numeric data type. Okay, 18 is the maximum size for numeric data type. So next is alphabetic. The second one is the alphabetic data type. Alphabetic is nothing but A to Z. Only alphabets we can store. So that can be maximum we can store up to 255 characters. Okay. So here how we can define means A is nothing but alphabet, and following by the length of the alphabet is 10, means up to 10 characters we can store within this alphabetic data type. So and alphanumeric, which is the combination of the alphabets and numeric, so that we can indicate by using the X symbol. So X is nothing but mixed of the numeric and alphabetic data. So it is also the maximum length of the alphanumeric is 256. Up to 256 characters we can store within the single variable. Okay. So next is the value class. So what is the value class? Previously you saw the variable we can define like this. Means first we need to give the level number and following by the variable name, and next is the picture class and following by the what is the data type and length. So next, in case we need to give the value also. So how we can give the value? Means by using the value and following by the whatever the value we need to store in this variable, so that we can provide. Means in case of alphabets and alphanumeric, we can provide within the single quarter, double quotes. Okay, and numeric just we can provide the number directly within, we don't use the quotations here. So here examples I am providing you. Example first one is the WS var. Pick a of 10 value so and so. Means the variable which WS var one variable I am defining, and it is a individual data item, and following by the data type is alphabetic and its length is 10. And what is the value we are storing in here? Mainframes. Okay, so which is nothing but in WS var equal to mainframes. Example, in other languages we can define like this one, int var or char var equal to so and so, like that. In other languages we can define like that, in Java or C. So similarly here also we can define one variable by using the 01 level number and following by the variable name and data type and data length and following by the value. And similarly we define here alphanumeric. X is nothing but alphanumeric and its size is up to 20 characters we can store, and the value is mainframes class. In between we can use numeric data also, 1 2 3 something like that. Okay, so because it's a alphanumeric, it's a combination of alphabets and numerics. Next one is the WS var 3. So this is defined as 9 of 9 is nothing but numeric. Only numeric value we can store within this variable, and up to 10 digits. Okay, 10 digits we can store in the WS var 3, and its value is 1 to 9. Means example we can in between we can store up to 10 characters. Okay, 10 digits we can store. So like that we can define variables. So next last division is procedure division. So this is the main division. Here only we can implement the logic, entire logic, whatever the application program we are building. So the application logic we can implement or we can write it in the procedure division only. So till now we have the three divisions. So those divisions are used for what is the program name and what computers we are using, and for execution and compilation, and is there any files concept we are using. So those we can define in the file section, and following by what variables we are using in this program, application program. Till now we defined, we saw the identification division, environment division and data division. And last division, procedure division, this is the fourth division. So there only we can implement main logic, whatever the logic, program logic we are implementing, that logic we can implement in procedure division. Okay, so before we need to discuss about the procedure division, I need to tell again is we used to the software. So there we have the 1 to 80 characters. So in this entire sheet we have up to 1 to 80 characters. In one line we can store, we can write the program, the size is 1 to 80. And in this 1 to 80 columns, so their first 1 to 6 columns will store the sequence fields, which will store the sequence. Means what is the sequence of this line number. On these kind of information we can store. Otherwise we can tag our name. Example, one line I'm writing, that line who wrote we need to identify, that name we can write in this 1 to 6 digits. 1 to 6 columns. Okay, so and in the seventh column indicator field, which they in the seventh column what we need to define means whether this line is a comment line or whether this line is the continuation of the previous line. These kind of understand, okay, this line is commented, or okay, this line is continuation of the previous line. Like this we can identify. Next, 8 to 11 we can call as a area A or margin A. Okay, so 8 from 8th position to 11th position we can call as a margin A or area A. And 12th means up to 11th we are calling A, and 12th to 72 we are calling as a margin B or area B. And next, 73 to 80 identification field we can say, means here we can write the tagging in the 73 to 80 characters. So like when in case we are using the we are implementing the user stories or something like that, so there we can write examples I provided here. 1 to 6 is the column numbers we can store, and it is used for line numbers for continuation continuing line of code. Example, first line, second line, third line, something like that I need to provide the sequence. So in 1 to 6 we can define. So in the seventh line what we are using, so indicator, which is nothing but some special character we can write, and that will identify that will indicate this is so and so purpose we wrote. Means in the seventh line, in case we are writing the star or slash or forward slash hyphen or forward slash, so based on that it will understand. So star means asterisk, in case we can write in the seventh line as asterisk, it is nothing but comments. That line won't execute, just that is for user understanding. So every program every technology we need in the every application program, so we can write some comments that for user understanding. Okay, so that we can here in our COBOL we can use the asterisk or star in the seventh line, so that line indicates as a comment line, and just that is for user reading purpose we can use. That line won't execute by using the compilation. Okay, so next is the hyphen. So it indicates that continuation, means example I wrote some logic, I mean I wrote some display statement or in the one line, and that line is not sufficient for that code. So what we can do next, the next part code we can write in the second line. So but the COBOL needs to be understand, okay, this line is ended with the first or this is continuation of the previous line. So in case we can use in the seventh column as hyphen, so that the COBOL compiler can understand, okay, this is continuation of the previous line, something like. And slash, forward slash we can use this indicates to feed, means we are assigning something to the data. Next, 8th to 11th. So we call as the area A or margin A. So which is nothing but in the 8th to 11th, what we can define and which purpose we can use the area A means all COBOL divisions. So whatever divisions we have, I mean we have 4 divisions. Data division, identification division, environment division, data division, and procedure division. Those divisions can start from 8th to 11th, means in between 8th to 11th we can start and we can continue up to next. It should not start with 8th position and end with 11th. It should start in between 8th to 11th, but it should start in between this range only. Okay, so and the paragraphs, in case we have any paragraphs in our code, so that also we can write in the area A. Sections and some special entries must be begin in area A. Next, 12th to 72 means area B. So all COBOL statements must begin in area B, means whatever the statements, whatever example we have few reserved verbs and all these kind of logical information we can write under the area B. Next, 73 to 80, this is used to use it for the identification of each line in the code, and the programmer can use it for their needs. Example, few people can write for comments, and I mean the story numbers, and few people can write like sequence number 1 2 3 something. Depends on our requirement. Okay, so mostly we need to we need to remember, okay, seventh line, which purpose we are, in case we need to write the command line in COBOL program, then in the seventh line we can give the command, so that the that line treats as a command line. So area A and area B, which we need to start in area A and which we need to start in area B, these we need to know more. So example, I wrote one sample program. So this is the sample COBOL program. So I told you 1 to 80 we have, right? So there, so this is the 1 to 6th line. So I provide as a sequence number. Example, this is the first, second, third, fourth, so like that. I provide the sequence number. And the 7th line, this is a gap in case it's not for special purpose. Next, 8th to 11th means in between we can write identification division, means from 8th to I can start, otherwise 9th to I start, or otherwise 10th to I can start, means from 8th to 11th, in between where anywhere I can write the I can start the identification division. And program ID, environment division, these are the paragraphs and divisions we can start in the area A. Even 0 1 level also we can write in area B, area A. The others we can write in area A or area B. And the next, the display here just I have this one display statement. So basically this is one statement. The statements can start in area B. This will start from 12th to 72. Next is the seventh line. I told you in the seventh line, in case we can write the star, which is nothing but command line. This line, whatever the code we are writing, that COBOL won't take that code while compiling the program and executing the program. Just it does nothing. Just this line is for reference of the programmer, what logic we have below, something like that. These kind of information, example, I am writing so and so program below, that information we can write by using the comment. Okay, so the next display statement, and these information we have in area B. And also here I provide the seventh line as the hyphen, so which is nothing but I do the data which is not sufficient from 1 to 80, so I need to write the some continuation information in the next line, so that I can write the hyphen in the next line, and then I can write the data, which so that the compiler, means the program can understand, okay, this is not the separate line, this is the continuation of the previous line, like that. At last we can write the stop run, so which will stop the program, I mean program execution will stop once it reach to the stop run. So basically output of this program can get like whatever we are giving here, that we can see in the output. And following by here, basically I wrote hello welcome to in one line and mainframe in one line. So basically that is the one line of code only, hello welcome to mainframe. So in case we need to continue the some information in the second line, then we need to give the hyphen in seventh line, seventh position. Okay, so that's all friends. So next class we can discuss about the COBOL arithmetic operations and these concepts. Till now just we discussed about the what is the COBOL and what is the coding sheet of the COBOL, means how many positions we have 1 to 80, and in between what is the area A and what is the area B, and in area A what we need to define, in area B what we need to define, these kind of information. Okay, just I am giving the overall to today's session. First, in COBOL, we have the 4 divisions. That is the main important. The identification division. In the identification division, we are going to define the program name. So, by using this program name only, the application program can understand, okay, this program is used, the name of the program is so and so. And so, by using that only, we can do some operation. And next other things are optional, other data. And next is the environment division. So there we can define about the computer, I mean which computer which device we are using to execute and compile the program, those information. And files related information we can define under the environment division. In data division we can declare the data part, means in case we need to define some variables, so we can define in the data division by using the different sections based on our requirement. In procedure division, the main logic, the program logic, application program logic we can implement in procedure division. Okay, so we need to keep in our mind few things, like each line can ended with full stop, means end with period is indicates like this line is ended here. In case we are not giving the end with period, then it will give the syntax error. And also in the program, whatever in we have four divisions. In case only first the mandatory division is identification division. In case you don't give the any other divisions, other three divisions, it the program will execute. But the program needs to run, then definitely we need to write the identification division following by the program id and program name. So these are the mandatory division, and others are optional. In case we need to write some logic, then we need to write the different divisions. Okay, thanks for watching, and we can discuss the next topic in next session, that is the COBOL arithmetic operations. Okay, please share and subscribe my channel, so that for more updates in the mainframe technology and following by the interview questions and all. Thank you.